What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Straight Facts Unmatched Experience. I'm your host, Straight Facts Unmatched. I would like to say thank you for tuning in to the content, dropping the comments down below, and liking the videos. I do appreciate you guys for taking time out your day, listen to what I have to say. You guys are greatly appreciated. So let's go ahead and get off into this video. I want to talk about double standards, okay? And this video is going to be about Strong Mommy Chrissy. So I seen the video where the live that she did about 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago, that she did about her baby daddy, which is Cash's father, girlfriend, trying to make her son, I guess, trying to replace her as a mother, as she called it, or whatever the case may be. This is what I have to say about that. Okay, I recall not too long ago, um, I do recall this situation where she was on live talking about DeMarcus's girlfriend and how DeMarcus's girlfriend was overstepping her boundaries as far as like saying how she wasn't allowing DeMarcus to be a part of those kids' life or whatever the case may be, that's not no excuse because just like we have seen on these YouTube streets with Olivia and Gerard, if a man really wants his children, he will make a way, find a way, and he wouldn't use the excuse that the mother will not allow him to see his children. He will make a way out of no way whatsoever. The same way that Cash father did for him, DeMarcus can do for Onyx, DeMarcus, and Blaze, okay? If those are his children. Okay, let's just be clear. He could do the same thing. Now, Chrissy is saying that she's divorced. Chrissy has kids with DeMarcus. All three of the last three kids that she had is supposed to be DeMarcus' children. Okay, so you say you went and got a divorce. How did you get a divorce without your husband? Because in your situation, you actually have children with your husband. And in order for y'all to get a divorce, he would have to play a part in that. Like he could not be absent from you filing a divorce. You can't just file a divorce and it be final without DeMarcus because y'all have children. So that means that there's different rules in place when it comes to being married and y'all have children together. That means that paternity tests would have to be done. Child support would have to be discussed. Visitation would have to be discussed. You can't just go file a divorce and just say, oh, I'm divorced, and that just be that. DeMarcus had to be notified. He had to be involved because there's 3 children involved that you're saying that's his. And then in his mind, he has doubts about what? The last one? Or DeMarcus? Or hell, maybe even all 3 of them. Who knows? But I'm saying it's double standards for you to sit up here and talk about how Cash's dad's girlfriend was trying to make him call her mom or trying to push up on him as being his mom. But you have Rod over there playing father to those 3 boys that are not his. And he's only been in the picture for how long? For just 2 years? And you have on his cooking channel, dad makes this for his kids as if like he's their father, and we have yet to see him with his own child. I'm talking about Rod with his what? Don't he got a son? You speak so highly of his son, but we have never seen your boyfriend with his son, but yet you are letting your boys call him daddy? Are you referring to him as their father because he's been there with you, right? Okay, so you're saying that Cash's daddy said he got rid of his girlfriend because he was getting on Cash's nerve, making Cash feel some type of way by trying to push up on him, trying to be the mother that she feel like you're not because you're in a whole different state or whatever the case may be, or whichever way you want to play it. All I'm going to say is that it's double standards. If you have your children calling a man father that's not even their dad and he wasn't even there at birth, then I don't understand how you could feel some type of way about somebody trying to play that role or be that role or whatever the case may be or whatever. I'm not saying that she needs to try to replace you or try to make your son call her mother by any means. No, that would be solely that child's That would be solely that child's decision if that's what they choose to call that individual, if that's what they feel like the individual has been to them. I mean, you are in a whole nother state. You have moved away from your child that's with his father. So you have to make trips back and forth to go get him and bring him back, this, that, and the third. So if he did have a girlfriend and they were serious and she was about to become his wife, now by any means, she don't need to be trying to make your son call her mommy or try to replace you in any way, shape, or form, because yes, you are alive, you're kicking, and you do play a part in your son's life. Well, whether you did or you didn't, that still wouldn't be her place to be trying to replace you, because you're still the mother. And that's understood. That can never be taken away from you, no matter if the girlfriend becomes the wife or not. But for you to feel like that shouldn't be a thing. You said, oh, well, I just hate when girlfriends overstep their boundaries and try to be mommy to other people's kids. But you have a whole man in your house that you letting your kids call daddy, or that you're referring to this man as their father. And like I said, he's not even their father, because, I mean, he hasn't even been there since they were born. Yes, Onyx was very young when he came into the picture, but that's really besides the point. They still have a father too, just like your Cash's mother. DeMarcus, Onyx, and Blaze has a father as well, whether you feel like he's an active father or not. But we only know from what you tell us. Just because he won't come to the internet and talk about y'all's business as to what is and what isn't, and you will, it's like the Olivia syndrome. You're able to get on here and say what you want to say on your end about your husband, but your husband is not saying too much of nothing. He'll pop up every now and again and may have something to say or whatever, I guess, or whatnot, or may not have not been saying anything at all. I guess Steffi G ain't been saying nothing or whatever the case may be. But as far as this whole I'm divorced situation with your husband, I don't believe that, not one bit. I believe that you are indeed still married. Because like I said, you can't just file no divorce without your husband being involved when y'all have 3 children. It don't work like that. Those divorces are totally different from a person that's married to somebody that don't even have children with that person. You can't just go file for a publication divorce. And if he doesn't respond, then that's just that. No, when there's kids involved, it's a whole totally different ball game. It's a whole different situation that has to go down. Like, seriously. I'm talking about paternity tests. If anybody feel like, oh, well, I don't know if such and such is my kid, or, child support in place, like I said, visitation rights and things of that nature. So you mean to tell me that you went and filed for a divorce without DeMarcus? How so? DeMarcus is your last three boys' father. But you have Rod, your boyfriend, all up and through the videos talking about daddy this, daddy that, daddy this, daddy that. But you had an issue with Cash's daddy having a girlfriend, saying or whatever it is that she was doing when it came to your son. And then for you to say, oh, we don't talk about relationships, like we're not cool like that. Your whole body language and your facial expression shows something totally different, ma'am. It really did. Y'all may be cool and talk tight like that to where y'all do have those type of relationships. I mean, those type of conversations or whatever the case may be, because he told you about his girlfriend and how him and his girlfriend is not together anymore. What does that have to do with you? And if she was doing stuff that she had no business doing and he got rid of her, then that's good. He did what he was supposed to do. But why come to YouTube and talk about that? Like, why was that anything to talk about? The same thing you did when it came to Steffi G and DeMarcus, the whole situation. You felt like you had to come to YouTube and talk about that. Like, she needs to stay in her place and this, that, and the third. And, if he really wants to see his kids, and he'll find a way, but then come to find out you have him blocked to where he can't even call you or be in contact with you. You want him to come to YouTube and all of that type of stuff, chase you down just so he can have a relationship with his kids. And if he was smart, and if he really did want to be a part of his children's life, he would follow suit with what Gerard did and do what he needs to do. But it seems like that's not going to happen, because those kids are getting older every year and he has not been anywhere around. So to say that, oh, I don't like when girlfriends try to overplay their role, well, isn't that what you're doing with your boyfriend that you're supposed to be engaged to? I mean, let's just be very clear. It's the double standard for me. I mean, if you're able to sit there and call your boyfriend your kid's father, and that's not even their daddy. If Cash's father had a girlfriend that he was actually serious about, and she was spending every day with your son, and that's what he decided to call her, would you feel some type of way about that? I mean, because there's a lot of kids that have that have, they have to go with their fathers, or they have to go with their mothers, and their mothers or their fathers have maybe have other, they have significant others, or whatever the case may be, and they may have a bond or relationship with that person, and they may feel like, okay, I can call you like ma or pops or something like that in that matter, a little nickname. Not calling them by first name basis, but they may have like that's my pops, or that's my that's my other mom, or whatever the case may be. You will feel some type of way about that. I mean, just as long as your child is being respected and no harm is being done to your child. If your child has a bond with that person, I don't see what the issue would be with you feeling some type of way about that child having a bond with another woman. That's not you. If you're not insecure within your spot, and your spot can be your spot can be took, why are you so worried about it? Why was that even a thing to talk about? I just kind of was like, wow, interesting. That's so a double standard, because Rockin' with Rod, it has dad cooks for 7, 8 kids and all of that type of shit. So okay, if it's okay for you to do it, how come it's not okay for it to be okay over that way? If they have built a bond with each other or whatever, then okay. Did you hear that from Cash, or did you hear that from his father? I'm just saying, like, yeah, y'all have conversations like that. Y'all do. Let's just be very clear. You can tell as to how you was smiling all big and how you was just like, we don't have conversations like that, but y'all did. Make it make sense. It makes none to me. Okay. So yeah, it sounds like you were very happy about the whole fact that him and his girlfriend was no longer together anymore, all of that. He might be one of those baby daddies, but that you may still have a thing for. I do recall back in the gap, when you were when you had Cash or whatever, and I think y'all might have had a relationship, whatever the case may have been, you might still be sweet on your baby daddy. So when you go down there, ain't no telling what kind of stuff y'all might be getting into. No telling. But anyways, yeah, I just thought that was a double standard. If you're going to sit there and say that you don't like the fact that the girlfriend overstepped her boundaries, well, you are overstepping yours, because Onyx Blaze and DeMarcus have a father, and his name is DeMarcus. Regardless if he's present or not, he's still their father. He's in a different state, or in the same state, or whatever the case may be. So I'm just saying. Oh, no, he's not in the same state anymore. I forgot they moved to Colorado, allegedly, or whatever. Or not, I don't know. But I'm just saying, that's the double standard. If you don't want your son to be calling or have a type of relationship with another woman, then you shouldn't be trying to force your kids up on a man that you just met off of POF, or through a friend that you're no longer a friend with anymore, and all of that type of shit. You haven't even met this man's people. You haven't even met his son, because he hasn't even had his son nowhere around for the whole 2 years that y'all have been entwined with each other. You have spoken about his son, but we have yet to see his son. At least we can see that we have seen Christopher Hip's kids. Well, at least 2 of them. Okay. At least we see that he does have at least a relationship with his twin boys. We don't see the little girl. Not at all. We don't see her at all whatsoever. But at least we have seen at least we have seen his twins. We have not seen Rod's son whatsoever. We have not seen him come up on the camera. We haven't seen a glimpse of him, but you always talking about dad, 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 and all of that. Y'all a whole family over there. So what's the difference?